Did you know that the average American eats about 100 pounds of poultry a year? That's double the amount of chicken and turkey we ate just 30 years ago. And that tops both beef and pork in pounds consumed each year. Wow. So the question becomes, why is poultry so popular? Well, because it's economical, it's easy to prepare, it's a great source of a low-fat protein, and it's so versatile you can practically do anything with it. You can buy it whole or in parts, you can buy it fresh and raw, or already cooked and ready to use to make meals in a snap. So let's take a look at all of our options. Your grocery store carries lots of different types of chicken. So let's take a look at the most popular choices and the best ways you can cook them. Okay, now we're going to start with your basic broilers and fryers. These are the youngest, leanest, and the most tender chickens that are on the market today. And it's normally what you see the majority of in your supermarket case. If you buy them whole, they go about 3 to 5 pounds, but the most popular cuts are the breasts, the wings, and the thighs, and they're sold separately in packages. You can buy them bone in or bone out, and basically once you get them home, you can do practically anything you'd like with them. You can stew them, you can saute them, you can bake them, you can grill them. It's just easy cleanup and easy eating. Okay, our next birds that we've got are the roasters. Now, the roasters are the bigger, more mature birds. They go about 6 to 8 pounds apiece, and these are the best roasted. And if you roast them whole and then carve them, they make wonderful leftovers. They make terrific sandwiches, great for chicken salads, and also if you cut them into slices, it makes great main meal salads. All right, Cornish game hens are our next birds, and a lot of times they're overlooked because they're in the frozen section, where sometimes the frozen turkeys are. Now, these are little guys. They only go about 2 pounds apiece, so they're really good when they're roasted. However, if you're a grill master, then this could be your bird because they are excellent when they're grilled outside, so try them there. Now, if you're not big on cooking, there are tons of convenient poultry products that are on the market. Try some of the newer products like these that are on the market. Some are pre-cooked and already cut into chunks or strips, while others are marinated and ready for the pan or grill. No matter which ones you choose, all of them are time savers and life savers for the home cook. For the ultimate inconvenience, Old El Paso makes a shredded chicken, which is great for chicken tacos. You can even pick up one of the convenience taco dinner kits, which has all the shells, sauce, and seasonings you'll need. Just add lettuce, tomatoes, non-fat sour cream, maybe some non-fat refried beans, and a low-fat Monterey Jack cheese for the complete Mexican fiesta. So whether you're cooking with fresh, frozen, or convenience poultry, it seems that the same questions always remain. White meat or dark meat, skin or no skin, and roasted or fried? So let's go through this common list of questions and get you some answers. First, should you choose white or dark meat? Well, white meat from the breast is lower in fat and calories than dark leg and thigh meat. The difference for a 3-ounce serving, which is about the size of a deck of cards, is 5 grams of fat. However, skinless dark meat is still lower in fat than most cuts of red meat, so it's still a great low-fat menu option. Okay, second question. Should you have your poultry with or without the skin? Well, actually, it makes no difference in terms of fat and calories if the skin is removed before or after cooking. The key is to make sure it's not eaten. If you compare the same 3-ounce serving of white meat with skin and without skin, the skin adds more than twice the fat. If you look at the dark meat, the skin adds 6 grams of fat. So, if you eat the skin on poultry, count on eating an additional 5 grams of fat, not to mention a lot of cholesterol. So the bottom line is this: to keep your chicken juicy and tender with less fat, cook it with the skin on and then remove it just before eating. Okay, and our final question. Does it really matter if you have your poultry roasted or fried? The answer is go with the roasted. When you're eating white meat, frying adds an additional 8 grams of fat for a total of 11 grams. Frying dark meat also adds 8 grams of fat, but since you started with an even higher fat content in the meat, you end up with a whopping 16 grams of fat. So to sum it up, have more white than dark meat, don't eat the skin, and go for the roasted, not the fried. Now, for food safety, no matter how you cook it, always use the internal temperature to determine when the poultry is done. As a general rule, for a skinless, boneless breast, the meat thermometer should read at least 170 degrees before you consider it to be done. If you're cooking any other poultry products that we've talked about today, see the materials in your binder for some additional times and temperatures. What do you do if you don't have a meat thermometer? The chicken should feel firm to the touch and the juices should run clear with no red or pink on the inside. And remember, when you're cooking, keep these additional tips in mind. Roast, bake, and grill on a rack to allow fat to drip off the poultry during cooking. Roast whole birds for easy, no-fuss cooking and skim the fat from the pan juices before you use them for gravies. And better yet, instead of a fattening pan gravy, serve with fruit salsa and chutneys for colorful, flavorful, low-fat sauces, or buy a bottled fat-free gravy. Now, cook your stuffing separately and not in the bird, where fattening juices will drip and be absorbed by the stuffing during roasting. Use white breast meat and not the dark, and frozen oriental vegetables for speedy stir fries. If you love to grill, then this is a good time to use dark leg and thigh meats. The dark meats won't dry out as quickly as white meat during intense heat or prolonged cooking times. Marinate meat up to 2 days in the refrigerator in sealable Ziploc bags before grilling to add flavor, not fat. No matter how you cook it, feel free to keep the skin on while roasting and baking to keep meat moist and juicy, and then remove the skin before eating. Be sure to check out the delicious recipe for oven roasted chicken in your binder that we've included for you. And as a final note, cook and eat more poultry instead of red meat because it tastes great and because it's good for you.